Mr. Secretary, you want to come on up?
Yes, Governor, I'm on my way.
All right. Kathleen, why don't you just step over here and we'll have the Secretary here. Well, good morning, everybody. We are here today to make the announcement of the newest senator that will be joining the unicameral for District 31, Kathleen Kauth. Kathleen is an active member of her community, and I will get more into her background and so forth, but she is here with her husband, Andrew Fisher, and her son, Brendan, who actually is a senior at the University of Nebraska. And we're going to do the swearing-in ceremony here, and then I'll come back and do another introduction of Kathleen, and then we'll have open up to questions and answers. So that's how this will all play out. Oh, Senator Clements, I didn't see you there. Thank you very much for being here as well. We have Senator Clements and Senator Lowe. So we'll do the swearing-in ceremony first, then I'll talk a little bit about Kathleen's background. We'll let Kathleen talk a little bit about herself, and then we'll open up to questions and answers. So with that, Mr. Secretary, I'm going to turn the podium over to you so that you can do the swearing in, and the Secretary has a tight timeline, so we're going to let him do his officiating here.
Thank you, Governor. As tight as the timeline is, it is a great honor and privilege to be able to administer the oath. Kathleen, please raise your right hand. Do you, Kathleen Kauth, solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Nebraska, and that you will faithfully discharge the duties of member of the Legislature District 31 according to the best of your ability, and that at the election at which you were or will be chosen to fill said office, you've not improperly influenced in any way the vote of any elector, or you've not accepted, nor will you accept or receive, directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing from any corporation, company, or person, or any promise of office, for any official act or influence, for any vote that you may give or withhold on any bill, resolution, or appropriation. If so, please say, I so swear.
I so swear.
Congratulations, Senator Kauth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you,
Governor.
Mr. Secretary.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Well, now our newest officially sworn-in senator, Kathleen Kauth, is someone who has been a part of our community since her family moved here in 2012. We've got her husband and one of her sons, but she's got two other sons here as well. She is a graduate of University of Northern Iowa with a bachelor's degree in criminology and sociology with a master's in public policy. She also has a certificate of graduate certificate from UNO in gerontology. She's been an active member of the community, especially around aging issues. She has been a part of the Nebraska Aging Advisory Committee. She has been on the board of the Nebraska Eastern Office of Aging's Foster Grandparent Advisory Board.
Fantastic group.
Yeah, great. You've also had leadership positions in the Omaha Senior Resource Group, as well as Millard Public Schools, and you've sat on the Omaha City Charter Commission. So that's a lot to do in 10 years. So you've been heavily involved in that. She also owns her own business, KT Beck Enterprises, which is a mediation and team coaching business. She and her husband have been great members of our community and selected Omaha because of the great quality of life that we have here in Nebraska. I think you've been 7 different places before you came to Omaha.
This is our 7th and final.
7th and final place here as she has moved around, chose Omaha for the great quality of life, the great schools, just everything that we have to offer here in the state of Nebraska. And as she comes to the legislature, she is going to be looking to be able to continue to control spending so we can continue to provide tax relief. She wants to make sure we have strong schools that support our students, and also wants to make sure that we are cutting the red tape on small businesses that ultimately create most of the jobs here in our country. So Kathleen is a perfect fit for the representative to represent District 31, and she's going to be doing a fantastic job of representing them until January 3rd, which is when this term will do. But she's also going to be running for election here in November, and so we'll seek to be able to continue to represent the folks of District 31 in 2023. So I'm excited to appoint Kathleen here today, and with that, Kathleen, would you like to say a few words?
Love to. Thank you. I would just like to say how deeply honored I am to be able to represent District 31. I never really saw myself as a person who would run for office. My master's degree is public policy. I've always been interested in policy and interested in what goes on around it. As we've seen, it takes people to actually get involved, to make change, to keep things going, and keep the wheels on the bus moving. So I'm thrilled to be able to serve as the senator for LD 31. I have one of my beautiful sons with me. He was the one who got nominated to represent the brothers. I have an older son who is graduated Iowa State about a year and a half ago, and he lives up in Rochester, Minnesota. And then I have a younger one who will be joining Brendan at Lincoln. He just graduated. So we're official empty nesters, and I thought politics, of course, will fill the void. But anyway, so it's going to be exciting. It's busy. We have a lot to get done. I've been out knocking doors to run for this office. With the unfortunate and untimely demise of Senator Pauls, I need to get 2,000 registered voters to sign a petition, basically giving me permission to run. So I've been out meeting constituents, talking to people, and explaining the process. In many cases, I've run into people who were former students of Senator Pauls who had not heard he had passed. So I've had to break that news and share with them, how the process actually works. So it's been a very good way to meet the community. There's a lot of shoe leather between now and November. So, any questions?
Well, actually, I want to jump back
Oh,
to
sure.
you again. So, Brendan, really, you want to be known as beautiful?
He's beautiful. He's my baby.
Really? Because when I was a college guy, I'm like, oh, that's something more like that. All right, great. So, questions either for myself or for Kathleen? Yeah, Martha.
Yes. Obviously, the first time that the legislature may meet, when you have a chance to be a part of it, would be the special session that we're anticipating is likely, assuming the Supreme Court rules the way the draft opinion came out. What's your stance on abortion? Would you have supported the bill that was debated today, this past?
Most recently.
Yeah. So Martha's question is, with the pending decision on the Dobbs case in front of the Supreme Court, which may overturn Roe versus Wade, and the potential that we may call a special session to do more to protect preborn babies. Kathleen, I'm repeating the question because that way the microphone's picking up. Kathleen, what is your stance on life?
So I am pro-life, and I thought that the bill that was recently presented was a very solid one. And I look forward to being able to vote on something. We need to look at everything that comes forward. Depending on when the session is, depending on how much time we have to evaluate it, I'm very pro-life. So I consider it an honor to be able to vote on something. And it is the state's responsibility to vote on these issues. This is something that should never have been a federal issue. Every state needs to decide this on their own. It needs to be local.
And so would you have voted for that bill if you had the
Yes.
Other questions? Yeah, Paul.
How many candidates did you get, and did Kathleen apply?
So Kathleen did apply. I believe we had 5 apply, is that right? And I interviewed 4 of the candidates, and there were some other candidates that we also talked to as well, and Kathleen was the person I chose.
What stood out for you?
Well, I think one of the things that really stands out for me with Kathleen is her active involvement in the community. I listed off some of her involvement, whether it was primarily around seniors, but also with the Omaha City Charter Commission. Kathleen has been actively involved in her community. One of the things I also liked was her experience. If you look at her educational background, not only the public policy, but the gerontology, obviously senior issues are some of the things that we deal with a lot here in the legislature. So I think that's important. And then I also liked her background with regard to her business. It's about mediation and coaching teams to success, and that is obviously part of what we do in the legislature. It's working together as a team to be able to deliver legislation. So I think all those things speak very highly of Kathleen and her experience.
And how important was her position on abortion?
So, of course, I always look to, the question is how important was her position on abortion? I always look to appoint pro-life candidates because this is a pro-life state, so that obviously weighed very heavily in my decision with any of the candidates.
We have time for one more question.
Yeah, Martha.
Another issue that's we anticipate will be coming
So Martha's asking, what is our new senator's position on on the constitutional carry?
I spoke with quite a few of the police officers in Omaha, and I support constitutional carry. I understood the amendment that was pressed. I think there is a happy medium somewhere where we respect what law enforcement officers are telling us about their specific location and how much that will impact them. But again, if it's in the Constitution, that is the highest law of the land, and I stand behind constitutional carry.
So you would have voted for that bill?
Yes.
All right.
Can we make
Great.
sure we have your name spelled right?
That would be
Sure,
good.
that would be good. Yes, Kathleen, actually, you know what, do you have, we have a press release that'll
Yeah,
have
well,
it.
the press release got, but it's K-A-U-T-H.
K-A-T-H.
K-A-U-T-H.
K-A-U-T-H.
But we'll have her bio.
And Catherine with a K?
With a K.
Kathleen with a K2.
And your son's name, the other son's?
We'll give that.
Yeah, we'll get it out in the
We
bio.
should get that in like a couple hours after.
Yeah, we need
Yep.
that soon.
Okay,
That now.
Once we get the, streaming, put it in.
we'll just follow up. We'll follow up and get it out to you right away. Yeah. All right, great. Thank you very much, folks. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
I have one question on, will you call a special session if there's not an apparent 33 votes for banning abortion?
So Paul's question, repeat that again, Paul?
I know last year you declined to call a special session because you couldn't count 33 votes for the vaccine issue. Is that going to be your same approach this year?
So Paul is asking, are we going to call a special session if we can't get 33 votes? And, you know, I will work with Speaker Hilgers on the best strategy for being successful, but if we call a special session, I fully intend it to be successful. Thanks.
Wait.